today's episode we are speaking to Mr. Alfonse Zakher Seif, who was one of the founding members of the Coptic Church and Coptic community in Australia in Melbourne. Alfonse, thank you very much for your time today. Could you please tell us your memories and recollection of your journey and migration to Australia and how that came about?
Yes, we start to think to come to Australia and we get straight away from Port Said on February, and we arrived here to Melbourne.
Yes.
By Angelina Lauro ship on 17th of March 1967. And I think when we came here, we've been in the ship just myself and Albert Saad and some family called Riz and his wife Rosa with his two children. This is the only Egyptian coming with us, Coptic Orthodox. There's come Muslims come with us, like it doesn't matter. When you came here, I settled in South Melbourne. I was going to the South Melbourne market every day. We're meeting some people here and there, and at last we would like to find church here to go. We get used to go to church every Sunday. We can't find any Egyptian church, nothing. And then we go one day to the Greek church, another day to Church of England, and we hear that there is the church called Church of All Nations. They translate the service in Arabic. So we went over there. I found a lot of people, some of the people which Christian. And then after that, we said, all right, what about to make a group together and we build our own community, which is Saint Virgin Coptic Church. And that's all. And they agreed. And then after that, we met together. We met Mr. Naguib Basili, and then he said, all right, welcome. I will have here in the house we're living in Albert Park. We're living in there's a big hall. We make a meeting over there. We start to have a meeting, and the attendance of this meeting, it was at that time Kamal Awad, Ramsey Lada, Naguib Basili, Alfonse Seif, Fathi Ilyas, Albert Tawfiq, Sami Hasaballah and his family. These people get together, we start to increase. What to do with them? Just pray Iqbayah. We have got one Iqbayah. We read it together and sing some of the hymns.
Yes.
And it was guiding us to read some of the hymns and things like that. And it's finished. We have Abu Na'matullah coming in Australia. He arrived in Melbourne by the ship on 24th of January 1969. And we make the Mass in church, Syrian Orthodox Church, at their church. And we make a Mass. Of course, Abu Na'matullah got with him Al Muqaddas. We make the Mass over there, and we have service, and we have all the people, invite them to come to attend the Mass in Coptic, and all have the Munawla, communion, and all are happy. After that, we have an agreement with Abu Na'matullah to come and visit us when he settled in Sydney, every Saturday coming to Melbourne to make Mass for us and just look after the people here.
My understanding is it was the first Saturday of every month.
Yeah, it was the first Saturday every month.
Right. And how long had it been before the Coptic Egyptians of Melbourne had Coptic Mass and Communion? How long had you waited for?
Oh, since we arrived, I arrived in 60.
7. So you
I
were
gave 67. No masses at all.
right. So some of the early migrants had waited up to 2 years.
Nobody except from our first
Yes.
Egyptian. I mean Egyptian. I mean my wife and myself are Egyptian. There's some Egyptian came mixer between Egypt, Greek, or Egypt or Italian. But I'm talking about the Egyptian, pure Egyptian from both parties. Understand?
Okay. Thank you.
That's all.
And in terms of the first liturgy in Australia by Abuna Mina Namatala at St Nicholas Antiochian Orthodox Church in Victoria Parade, East Melbourne, what feeling did you all feel at the time when you had the first liturgy in Australia?
Oh, but you imagine, very, very happy. Not me. Everyone. They are missing the having Manaula, the communion.
Yes.
And we're very, very happy to have a Quran fest. That's why we begged Abuna Mina to look after us until it happened. And after that, Abuna Mina came here and we started to grow up. He asked us to write a letter and give it to me, recommended his bishop, Ambacarados, to appoint one for us.
Right.
We sent this to Abuna Mina. He sent it straight away to
His Holiness?
His Holiness.
Yes.
And His Holiness, he advised us that we have a good deacon. His name is Yusuf Akhnoch.
Yes.
And I'm recommending him to be one of the priests over there.
Right.
And it happened. And he came. And apparently, the first time he came here, on the 4th in Arba, in Wednesday, before the Eid Kibir,
Yeah, so he
the
came,
Holy.
my understanding, he came on the 13th,
Yes.
13th of April 1971.
Exactly.
But between January 1969 until April 1971, he was a Abuna Mina Namatala that was travelling from Sydney to Melbourne once a month to conduct
Yes.
liturgy.
And the same comes to service and look after the Coptic need. Visit sick or somebody, have some problems on sick and make a first marriage. The first marriage for Maurice Awad.
Yes, can you remember the date
Oh, yes, I do.
or the month?
It was here the first Zawag, as the marriage, Maurice Awad on the 6th of July, 69.
Right. So the first Coptic marriage in Melbourne was the 6th of
That's 6th of July,
1969.
69.
Okay.
And apparently, and the first baptism in Melbourne was Judy Seif, my daughter. It was in the November 1969.
The first Coptic marriage was on 6th July 1969, and the first Coptic baptism in Australia was your daughter, Judy Seif, and that was in March or April 1969. Okay. Were there any other significant events that you can talk about between Abuna Mina Namatala's arrival and Abuna Victor Raphael's arrival in 1971?
Yes. He used to come to visit us every week, every first week of Saturday.
And how did Abuna, Abuna Mina Namatala arrived the first Saturday of every month. How did he come? Did he come by plane or car?
Of course, by plane, I think. He came by plane, and he stayed in one place of our community, had make the urbana, cook the urbana at night,
Yes.
والصبحية go to the Ferris wheel. We have at that time, we hired a hall in Church Street. It is Church Street, and the hall is big, and we have the communion over there, and all the service, and there was some chairs and things like that. We sat it down. It was very nice.
Right, that's the hall in Church Street, Richmond?
Oh yes.
Yes.
And church, it is in a hall. We make it a church by praying for there every once a month.
Right. And what was happening in terms of the Coptic Church of Melbourne in terms of fundraising? What were you doing for fundraising?
Apparently, the first meeting when we sit together, we have, as far as I can remember, it was $10 collection. $10 was a big money at that time. And then before the end of the, before Abuna Victor arrived, it was $40,000. And from $40,000, we took it as a deposit to pay it for St. Virgil church in Kensington.
Yes.
I remember Abuna Victor when came here. Honestly, he was putting on the overall and was zigging and helping us to make the church suitable as a Coptic church. He made a good effort to establish the church.
Right.
That's how.
Right. So the Abuna Victor was hands-on from the very beginning, helping
Yes.
the community and congregation prepare the church as a Coptic church.
Yes. Well, I remember while there isn't any priest, we organize and somebody go to the airport every Sunday to find out any Egyptian coming to help him, find a place for him, put his kids in the school, and find a job if we can, and invite him to come to the Coptic community. And he was very happy, and we are very happy because the community grown up this way. When Abuna Victor came, he followed the same rules. Every day you go to where you help people, حاجة جميلة جدا يعني.
Right.
That's why he's trying to grow up in Melbourne.
Right. So originally the lay people, so people like yourself and Nagir Basili and others, were going to the airport, and Albert Saad were going to the airport or the port every Sunday to see what Coptic Egyptians were arriving.
Albert Saad هو responsible of this community.
Right, so Albert Saad was helping with going to the port every Sunday to see what Coptic Egyptians had arrived,
Yes.
and to then help them and help yourselves. The group would help them find accommodation, a job, somewhere to live, somewhere to work, and then schooling. And then when Abuna Victor arrived in April 1971, he took over that role.
Exactly right.
Right. And when Abuna Victor Raphael was appointed to become the priest for Victoria, how did the Coptic community feel? How did you feel? How did the Coptic community feel?
Everyone was happy. I think there is also a photo that we are very, very big happy. Abuna Amina يعني استقبله في المطار, who came and with him, and with all the community at that time have a big picture to him.
Yeah.
And he rent a house for him in Brunswick, close to the church with Kensington, and all the people are happy to have a priest, Coptic priest, to do service for us.
So in terms of the first Coptic liturgy in Australia, this year marks the 50 years milestone and celebration. As a Coptic Orthodox Egyptian, reflecting now on 52 years in Australia for you and your wife Amal, and 50 years of the first Coptic liturgy in Australia, what are your reflections at the moment?
I'm very good. I'm getting old.
Yeah. Very happy with achieving that milestone.
Yeah.
Yeah, very happy with achieving that milestone.
Of course.
Yes.
With my family and everything. I'm still going to the church.
Yeah. And in terms of what final message do you have for the Coptic church in Melbourne and Australia?
Very hard to answer this question. because as a church, supposed to be the love in the church. We have to love each other. And this is the first advice from God to us. He told his disciples, love each other. That's why no right to hate anyone. You are Coptic, who believe in Christianity, and the Christian advice is to love each other.
Alfonse, thank you very much for your time today in reflecting on some of the stories and memories since your migration to Melbourne, Australia on the 17th of March 1967, and sharing with the viewers the excitement of the first Coptic liturgy in Australia by Abuna Minanamatala on the 24th of January 1969.
Very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's right.